Hello there, Firesplitter. I hope you're having a great time.
Yes, I am indeed having a good time.
Wonderful. Then introduce us to the beauty that is Hello Kitty Cruisers and the comfiness that it will provide us, hopefully.
Yes, indeed. Are we live now? Is my big question.
Yes, we are.
Perfectly. So then we're gonna start by introducing maybe the category we're gonna play.
Yes.
Yeah, the category.
We're going to see.
Yeah, the category we're gonna play is all tours with items. And there was a bid war going on, if I was correct. And who won?
It was pretty much clear from the get-go, because Kuromi had a $100 lead from the start. Yes, I would have loved to see some wonderfully tuxedo-clad Sam, but that was only $35, and Kuromi with $40, so Kuromi it is.
Okay. Then tell me when I can start.
Anytime. I'll gladly provide a countdown.
Oh no, I have activated a glitch now. I have to leave this menu and return. I mean, the run isn't even started yet and we are already seeing glitches. This is a good sign. Yeah, it was a menu glitch that makes it impossible for me to progress in this menu, so I basically had to go back here. This game has a lot of things like this going on that we are hopefully gonna evade. There's also potential game crash on one course that we hopefully evade. If the game crashes there, we basically lose like 3 minutes, but it's all accounted for in the... I'm accounting for this game to mess up every time, because this game is a mess.
As long as you're having fun.
Yeah, indeed. It's always fun when things happen. It's like, I wouldn't want it any other way with this game, to be honest.
Beautiful.
It wouldn't be a game like this if it wasn't for all of these little beautiful quirks going on.
I'm loving it already.
Yeah,
ready.
I am ready. I'm gonna start countdown now for timer. It's gonna start once I press confirm here on the first race, and it's gonna finish once I finish the finish line of the final lap of the final course. But I'll give a heads up for that. So we're gonna begin now in 3, 2, 1, and go. So hello everyone at home. This is, as you can see, Hello Kitty Cruisers. It is a quite interesting little racing game that has quite a few interesting little quirks to it, as we saw right even before we started the race. There is a lot of things that are gonna go on here, and I can't really go through everything that happens as it happens because there's so much happening. For starters, right now, if you look at the timer, I'm gonna ruin your life right now. If you look at the timer, you can see that it sometimes speeds up when it counts time, which is quite interesting when you run individual levels for this game. It means that individual levels for this game can't be counted by hundreds of seconds because it uses the in-game timer, which is very inaccurate. So we are getting clocked here as well. The clock is basically the equivalent of the lightning from Mario Kart, only that it's a little weaker, but it's way more common. We're gonna get a lot of these throughout this run. And what we're hoping to get though is that we get triple boosts or rainbows. If we get a triple boost or a rainbow, we can try to perform a little glitch that is a sort of RNG manipulation glitch. I'm gonna go through that though if that happens, how it is operating. It's a very, very odd glitch. And we're done with first stage now. There's one glitch we are like to see throughout this run that is very hard to evade. And that is a glitch that's gonna be double sound. You are gonna notice it when it happens. It's basically a glitch that is related to the glitch we saw before. And this before we started around with the menus, because the game doesn't quite register how menus are entered or left correctly sometimes, which leaves interesting results. I can tell one little story about one of the most interesting things that has led to that was when I did a submission video for 100%. I decided to leave this in because it was like such a good moment to highlight how this game is. The game would literally not let me leave the menu or proceed in any menus at all, so I had to restart the game. But due to the game thinking it was in a menu while I ran some courses, it basically did not save the progress, so I had to remake some courses. I had to redo courses in the adventure, because in 100% you are basically going for a clean save, so you have to beat every single course and it has to save it. So that glitch basically deletes some of my progress. Yeah, this game is gonna be an interesting ride. It can be interesting. It can be like this all the way, but it's probably not gonna be. Last run I did of this in a marathon, the enemy manages to drive up on my pies, which are meant to work like the Koopa shells from Mario Kart, in that if you go into anyone they're gonna crash, but they just didn't. They just floated over it because of some weird reason. I can't in any reality explain why it happened. There's a lot of stuff like that in this game. So there hasn't been seen so much yet, but the AI in this game is quite horrible. We are gonna see this in the future though. The first tour the AI is pretty basic. They're just like not good. But they're gonna get worse. You'll see some quite interesting AI maneuvers later on in this run. And I'll point it out when it happens. This is the first flying stage. The airplane in this game is good most of the time, but I have, out of late, managed to have some glitchy happens when I am in the airplane that basically makes the center of the airplane feel off, so you are basically turning way more in one direction than in the other. It is quite interesting to watch when it happens, because it just looks like I'm bad at this game when it happens. It just looks like I don't know what I'm doing, but it's basically because the controls of the entire game is like changing because of the weight of the plane. Like, I can't explain it any other way than the weight of the plane is changing. It feels like that. It's such an interesting glitch. Okay, we're soon done with the first Rainbow Road, or as we call it, the Potato Road. Because those things they're meant to be comets, but they are really looking like potatoes. There are gonna be a lot of these things going on this run though, that are looking very weird. Time for the fourth course. So far we have been pretty lucky, we haven't seen too many clocks. This game is very good at clocking though. Like unimaginably good at it. And that is also sort of related to the glitch I talked about before with the RNG. It turns out that if you get clocked once, it's way more likely due to this glitch that the AI is gonna get another clock. So if you get clocked once, it's very common for you to get clocked another time. This can basically mean that I have had races where I was like clocked for most of the race. And like it was going by snail pace because every single person was going that slow. And due to how bad the AI, oh my, I shouldn't be speaking about clocks because they always happen when I speak about them. Anyway, but due to how horrible the AI is on later stages, it doesn't really matter if I'm driving on like a third of the speed they do. I'm still gonna win over them every time because they are not even gonna finish the course most of the time. We could be driving here for like 8-9 minutes and they wouldn't finish the course, and you'll see why. Keep on getting clocked. As I said before, once you get clocked once, it's way more likely that you get clocked twice. I can't confirm if it's due to the glitch or not though, because it's very hard to confirm if stuff is happening to the glitch. I can actually have the glitch happen at any time with RNG manipulation to give me like the same item as before, and I can't tell. The only reason why I can't tell with some items is because you can't, and this is why the RNG manipulation in this game is so powerful. You can't get triple boost or rainbow in first place normally, but with that glitch active you can, which is why it's such a powerful glitch. Even though it's very unstable, it's very hard to tell what's making it tick. I can also get clocks in first place with it. I'm not gonna go for it though, because the clocks are not really that useful of an item for us as the player, as we are speedrunning, and the enemies in this game are not really, they are really not a threat at all to beat me, because they are, I mean, I have seen a couple of times actually when they are threatening, but it's very rare. It's basically if they get triple boost into triple boost, they're a threat basically. That's what has to happen for the AI to be good. Using our clock now because we want these. We want this cone with us because it's gonna be way easier for us to travel throughout the stage. I am going to on purpose skip that ring there, I think, on this first lap, because here's the part where the game crashes, and it's always about that turn the game crashes. So if I be a little nice in the game there, I think we can prevent the game crash. And now we're going through the mountain of the 4. Okay, there it is. The mountain of the 4 the 4 young Kages, Neko Kages. With Hello Kitty being the first Neko Kage in the Nyan village. There's like, this game is like very interesting in this aspect. There's like a lot of effort put into the background of this game. As you can see, there's like a lot of cool stuff going on in the background, but the game itself is like horrible. So when you look at this game in like an eShop or something, it's very good to take pictures with this game that makes it look good. It's very easy to make this game look good with a picture due to how very detailed the stages are, and how, I mean, the stages are actually very well detailed as long as you're not seeing the stage objects which are like looking horrible. Let's pray here. If we get through this turn here, we're gonna finish way ahead of schedule here. And we made it through. We are gonna finish ahead of schedule here, because we didn't have the fateful game crash happen that we are basically putting this entire game around. So that's good. That's great. On that stage, there's like a very high. Oh, there it is. There's the glitch again. Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? What is supposed to happen there is that the dog is supposed to crash into my little pie and get hit, but he floated over the pie. I was hoping we would see that glitch again because it looks so hilarious when it happens. I have no idea why it happens, but it just happens. This game is just like this. Nothing is really stable here. We are also gonna see some AI shenanigans here. If you look at the map, we might see some on this stage. No guarantees though. There's gonna be a stage later when the AI is gonna be very crazy. Oh, there it is. There it is. We are actually gonna go through here to check this out. Even if it's a little time loss, I really want to show this off right now. If you look at this right there, all of those AIs are stuck in the wall. Basically driving there. I think it has something to do with the routing of the AI, that the AI is like trying to process. I mean, I'm fine with a little time loss just to show that off, because it's not every day it happens. It happens very often though, but it's like, it's one of the little quirks with this game, so I was fine to take like a second time loss there to check it out. To show you just how horrible the AI is in this game. There is a stage later on where the AI is gonna be even worse, and on boating stage in general, except the first boating stage, the AI is very good at going all over the place. On a later stage, we are gonna see a lot of that, and it's actually gonna affect our routing on that stage, how the AI is acting up. So that stage is always interesting in a speedrunning aspect, because you are gonna have to adapt on the spots to what's happening. And you have to like look on the map. On that stage in particular, I'm gonna say when it happens. On that stage in particular, I never really look at the screen. I look at the map because I'm way more worried about what happens on the map than I am about what's in front of me. Because what the AI does there can really make or break the race. Like, really make or break the race. So here we are. This section has a very interesting mechanic, if you have noticed. At this section, we are getting pulled towards the wall. We are not gonna try to fight because we are gonna use that part at the end there to get a little turn. The reason why we can do that, why we can ignore it, is because the walls in this game are really not a threat. I'm gonna like be very close to that wall right now. As you can see, we are not even losing any speed by crashing into walls in this game. This game has very wacky physics, especially with the pies. We are not gonna see that much of the pies physics though, because the pies are not really used that much. There we are, we have pies, and this stage doesn't have any part either where I can make the pie physics happen. Please don't get clocked again. There's a high chance we get clocked here. If we get clocked in this tunnel, it's gonna be very annoying because we gotta get pulled towards that wall forever. Not forever. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because this game... it wouldn't surprise me if this game had potential softlock, but I haven't found any softlocks yet in this game, surprisingly. Like, at least not from... Oh, no. That was actually good, though. That was actually good. I can't believe that. That saved time. I didn't want to do that because it's a marathon and all, so I didn't want to do that trick there. It's basically a way in how the speed boosts interact with getting hit by stuff. You are basically maintaining your speed throughout the entire thing. That trick there in particular is super scary because if you don't hit that on the right angle, you are not getting the bounce. And here we see it again. There was the glitchy clock. The glitchy clock is what happens when you are passing through... if you get clocked in the middle of a speed boost, you get something I call the glitchy clock. There are several versions of this glitchy clock, but we got a good glitchy clock there. And the glitchy clock means that we are not getting stuck at the same pace as you normally get stuck on with a clock. We are actually getting stuck a little higher than what we normally do with clock, and if we get a good glitchy clock like we got there, we are actually locked on higher speed than normal. So that clock is probably saving me a little bit of time, not much though. The glitchy clock does not save much, but it's always nice. Like, it's better to get, it's like saving so much time compared to a normal clock though. It just goes to show how broken this game is. I think that is due to the algorithm deciding what pace to put you on is decided by the percentage of the current speed, and like, yeah, it's odd. I'm not really sure why it wouldn't decrease though. Because if you are getting hit by a clock at top speed, you are gonna decrease. It might be because the game is like deciding what pace to decrease you back on, like when it starts to decrease you, and like use that formula. It's weird, but that's like the best way I can explain it. Here comes one of the scariest stages in this game, and this stage isn't scary because it's particularly hard. It's scary though because if you get clocked this stage is all about keeping mind of the potato cycles and like deciding how to play according to those. If you get clocked though, the clock is losing different amount of time depending on where you get clocked, obviously, because on some parts it just hurts more to get clocked. So if that happens, we can't really have 100% check on where we are on the potato cycles. For example, right now I know exactly how the potato cycle is gonna look like. We're gonna make this even though it's gonna look scary. And next lap we're also gonna make, even though it's gonna look scary, if we haven't lost time to for stage movement, which I doubt we have. But if we get clocked, however, we can't tell that easily. Oh no. I could have gotten speed boost there if I hit into that cone, but I don't want, because then I wouldn't know what potato cycles I am on. Because getting hit by potatoes here is really annoying. We are gonna make it through. There we go. That was why it was so important, by the way, that, oh no, we get clocked here. It doesn't matter, this is the last potato, and it's not a threat to us. As you can see, we could exactly make it through that potato. And that's why it's so important we don't get clocked, because then we are not certain where we are on potato cycles. But yeah, because we got clocked so late in that course, it went flawlessly. And this course is a very long course with not much happening. So if we have any donations or anything else to read right now, it would be a wonderful time to read it right now. Because it's gonna be 2 minutes of basically just going around this long course. Okay, we didn't have anything to read. Then I can explain like how this course is supposed to work a little bit. There's like one part of this course is a little bit to keep track on, and it's gonna be this little turn down here. After this one, you saw it last turn, but we're gonna show it again. You want to go through this ring, but due to how high speed we have, we can't really make it through the ring there. We're just barely gonna miss it. So instead we have to go through this ring. It isn't a huge time loss though. It's actually quite a nice little turn there. And here we are on the second lap. This is going surprisingly well. I always manage to mess up something on this course, because there are just so many rings and it's very easy to miss some of them. Like when I first started playing this game, I always missed the ring after this because I was always trying to go for the innermost circle. Oh my, there's two AI stuck in one another. They're like in a deadlock right now. This game really needs to learn some synchronizing. They really need to learn the AI some synchronizing in this game. It's rare to see a deadlock on this stage because this stage is like so easy even for the AI to go around, but deadlocks can happen anywhere really. And the good part when deadlock happens actually, this is actually an interesting thing. It's actually good for us when deadlock happens. Oh, this is the course. This course. This course is gonna have probably, I'm not gonna say certainly because it's never certain, but probably the AIs are gonna get stuck in a wall there, in that particular wall I'm looking at right now. It can be anything between like 0 to 8 to every single AI. I have seen 0 AIs there, I have seen every single one there. I have no idea why it happens, but it probably has to do with the fact that the AI try to route from the part before the wall to the next part, because they are trying to get from point A to point B in the straightest line. And that straightest line might go through a wall. I'm not really certain how it works and why it works like that, but that is my best guess. That is my best guess. It doesn't look like it will happen anything interesting there now though. Oh, it's happening. Is it? No, they are going around the circle. They're flying around in circles now. Oh, there are indeed some AIs stuck there. And most of the other AIs are going around the circle. That I don't know why it happens though. There is actually one very interesting part on a boating level where you can actually, when the game can actually tell you you're going in the wrong direction, even though you're just going right forward. It probably has to do with something with how the game registers where the laps are and like when to put up stuff like that. It's weird. Here comes one of the easier stages in the game, but it's very satisfying to play this. This stage looks very hard on the map, but it's actually quite easy. We are gonna cruise through these little rings here, and it's gonna go like all through the stage. On this stage we basically got... Oh my. Okay, we got glitchy clock at least. We at least got a glitchy clock. Glitchy clock doesn't really save you any time here because you are gonna get reduced speed from the next speed boost you go through. But it's basically better to get glitchy clock than to get a bad clock, especially on this stage. Okay, let's see here. Oh no, this is bad. This is what I was dreading. As you can see, we get like no speed boost from the speed boost while we are clocked. I'm pretty sure because speed boost is like giving you a boost depending on your percentage of your current speed. And the percentage increase from like 0 is still 0. I'm not, like, it's not truly 0, but it's like, it's very little because of that. So now we're starting a final tour. This tour, I really hope we get a good item so we can try to go for the RNG manipulation. Have still not gotten anything. Still didn't get anything. Might try to play with this one though, but there's really no reason to do it because this item is not really good. And I think it's very hard to... I don't know why, but it's hard to duplicate the clocks than triple boosts. I feel like triple boosts are the easiest to duplicate. I don't know why. we didn't get anything. It probably has to do with why the thing happens. There's no reason to duplicate clocks though, otherwise than to show stuff off. It's a very unreliant glitch if you haven't understood that yet. From the language I use when I speak about it. It's a very unreliant glitch because I'm not really sure what caused it. It's probably because of a function being skipped or because of a race condition where the game like... At the end of certain section the game is like giving you the same item you had before, basically, instead of a new item. Or a function skips that entirely skips you getting an item. That's like the only two logical explanation I can find for it. When I first played this game, I thought it was because the game was like think you were in another position you actually were in, but that can't be the case. Because then it would always be possible to get the item. It wouldn't only be possible when you are just had the item. So due to the nature of how the glitch operates, I think it has to do with either of those two. Either a function is skipped that generates a new item for you, or it's a race condition. And if it's a race condition, that's actually quite terrifying. Because that can imply a lot of things. I'm very happy this game doesn't have online, to say the least. This stage didn't go well. It shouldn't be possible to be a race condition. It shouldn't be. But it's like those are the only two options really that can explain why you can only get the items in first place after that. Oh no, we crashed into bird. It doesn't matter though because we have a second set ring here.
Just chime in to say I love your energy, going almost 25 minutes non-stop with a commentary on this game is amazing. And it just looks beautiful, colorful, cute.
It's a very colorful game. I really love the backgrounds in this game. As I mentioned before, they put a lot of care into the background in this game. Part of me kind of wish they put the same kind of love into some other aspects, but part of me also appreciates it. Part of me also appreciates it because I really love these broken games that are like very, very obviously not well made, but the graphics are like, the backgrounds are like wonderful.
Are the other games you run the same as this one, like Broken Beyond?
No, I run a very, very wide variety of games. It's mostly, I mostly decide upon what I feel like doing. I really, really want to play games that are like very different from one another. I don't want to run many games that are way too similar because then it just grows boring. But oftentimes, one of the main things I look into when I look into a speed game is there anything stupid about the game? Like, is there anything that's like not really? This stage I talked about before, by the way, and we're gonna look at the map. But I should still be able to talk because it's not really hard. It's just I have to like keep an eye on the map instead of on the course for some sections of it, because the AI on this stage is you see already one of the AIs is going to go in the wrong direction here, and towards the end of the race several AIs can go through the wrong direction, and through that section there, if I and an AI is there at the same time, there can be a little crash that's gonna cause me to bump into an ice block, and if I get bumped on an ice block there, I'm gonna get flung across the course, and that's gonna be a huge time loss. So I really want to keep track of what's happening in this section right here and adapt accordingly. It doesn't look like anything interesting will happen here. A lot of AIs are stuck in the walls though, unsurprisingly. This course is like unplayable for the AI. Oh no, I missed that. Oh. Oof, I dodged it though. I was aiming to hit it. The pie in this game is like horrible to aim with. And it doesn't bounce off walls either. It's like such a bad item. I really understand why I didn't want to go with bounce physics in this game for the pies, but it's just like horrible. I don't even want to know what bounce physics in this game would look like, honestly.
Probably even more broken.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you saw before when I hit the wall in a specific angle to like fling me in the other direction with increased speed. It's a trick I never do in marathon runs normally. You have to like set up everything correctly, and the AI thankfully set it up for me, but still though, if you misangle that, you are gonna get stuck in that wall. So I really never want to do it. Okay, this is the final level, by the way. While we finish the third lap on this course, it's time basically. We finish the finish line here, and this stage is kind of similar to the potato road, where all of the potatoes were going around, in that we are gonna keep tracking car cycles. The car cycles are actually rougher than the potato cycles. They are far stricter. The key rule here though is, if you're unsure if you can make it, go for it anyway. The only time you shouldn't go for the car trick there is if you are certain you are gonna get hit by the car. The reason for this is because you lose so much more time by going around when you didn't need to than you do by crashing into the car there. It's actually crabs, they look so much like cars.
And there are the clocks again.
They are,
well,
so we are not gonna, there we go, crashing
the
into them.
Are raving.
It's not losing much time at all to crash. It loses so much more time if you go around, because it's make the routing like so terrible.
Those crabs just want to rave and have a good time, as we all.
Oh boy, more clocks. This game really loves giving me clocks. I don't know why, but it just does. That's how it is. Oh, there's what I talked about before, that when you get one clock you get more, because of the glitch things. The glitch thing with the RNG actually affects the AI too. I have like seen it happen so many times with the AI like getting several triple boosts or rainbows in a row. And that's like, those are the only times you can actually lose a race, but I don't think losing a race disqualifies a run in this category. So that would be fine. It would actually be better if the AI won, because then I am gonna start in second place, and there was time. Which increased my probability of getting a triple boost on the next race. But yeah, that was a look at the Kruisers, all tours.
Wonderful, just below 30 minutes.
That's wonderful, that's my aim time.
As you promised, you came in under estimate.
Yeah, easy. When that part goes, when you don't crash here, you are gonna go underestimate a lot.
Wonderful. Is that game actually chill to run? Because with all the crash and soft lock, or
what did you say before that?
Is the game comfortable to run?
It's kind of comfortable actually for me, because I have like a very long history with bad games. Like I have always liked playing like very bad games. So for me, it's like par for the course. Most of this stuff. It's like the game controls decently, except for on the boating stages. I'm like fine. It has obviously caused me a lot of frustrations when I've been on world record pace and the game decides to crash on me. But that's like part of the experience.
Well then, everybody take note from our wonderful and patient runner Firesplitter. Follow him on Twitch. And thank you for being with us. Thank you. Yeah.
See you next.
It's a pleasure to have you back, and exactly.
Yeah, see you next time. And it was a pleasure to run here.
Wonderful.